Guys, let me show you the 11 secret facts about Truckers of Europe 3 that you need to know. Honestly, some will blow your mind. Starting off with number 1, do you know that you can actually use 3 different profiles on a single account in Truckers of Europe 3? To do this, when you're on the main menu, simply tap on Change Profile above, and you'll see 3 different profile options that you can use. So what this means is that you can actually use separate profiles on one single Gmail account. This means you can be using one profile for different deliveries, and another one maybe for a virtual company, and another one for something else. So yes, you can actually use 3 different profiles on a single account. All right, moving on to number 2. Do you know that you can get your first truck for free when you start the game? So guys, at the beginning of the game, when you first download the game or start a new profile, you can test this on a new profile. Remember that at the beginning of the game, everybody gets 10,000 euros to start, and you will need to purchase the MAN truck. But do you know that you can actually get that first truck for free? To do this, simply go to the garage section, then tap on the back button twice. Once you tap the back button twice, the truck will be given to you for free. Now remember, you need to hurry up and start using the truck by getting cargo and doing deliveries so you can earn enough money to buy a better truck later. So yes, you can actually get the MAN truck for free at the beginning of the game. All right, moving on to number 3. Do you know that in early 2024, the developers accidentally released an update that had a bug which made a lot of players rich? Now guys, this sounds crazy and funny, but it actually happened back in 2024. The developers mistakenly released what I call the rich bug. This bug made a lot of players very rich in the game. And to be honest, I'm going to tell you the truth. This bug helped many players get their first 1 million euros in the game. The bug was just giving every player's free money. I was actually one of them, and I also got a huge boost in my money. So maybe one day the developers should release this type of bug again because it actually helped a lot of players. And honestly, guys, some bugs are really good. Yeah, it is what it is. If you remember this bug, let me know in the comments. All right, moving on to number 4. Do you know that you can actually disable traffic in the game? To do this, simply tap on the camera option and you'll see an option that says Disable Traffic. Once you tap it, all the traffic in the game disappears. This is useful if the traffic is too crowded or causing bugs on the road. So you can use this to clear the road and drive freely. All right, moving on to number 5. Do you know that the fastest default truck in Truckers of Europe 3 is actually the Ford truck? This truck has very good horsepower, and it is one of the fastest trucks with the default engine. No other truck really comes close to it in terms of default engine capacity because it comes with a default 500 horsepower engine. And I think a lot of players are sleeping on this truck. All right, moving on to number 6. Do you know that you are very likely to experience weird traffic behavior on almost every delivery? Now, this one is very common because I know a lot of you have experienced this before. You might see cars stopping randomly, driving strangely, or blocking the road. This kind of weird traffic behavior happens a lot in Truckers of Europe 3. All right, moving on to number 7. Do you know that the developers also accidentally released a fuel bug? What this bug did was that it made your fuel gauge stay full, which means no matter how much you drive your truck, your fuel never goes down. So it was basically like having unlimited fuel. I think many players will remember this bug because it was really fun. Some players was so happy that they asked Wanda Software not to remove it. It was crazy because you could just keep driving and never need to refuel. So yes, the developers accidentally released this bug sometime in early 2024, and many players actually enjoyed it. All right, moving on to number 8. Do you know that almost nobody has driven the heaviest cargo from the alternative route in Airolo? Now guys, this is really interesting. The 128-ton heavy trailer is one of the heaviest trailers in the game, and driving it from Airolo to Tremola through the alternative route is extremely difficult. That means driving it from the bottom of the map all the way to the top. I don't think many players have actually tried it, so maybe you should try it yourself and tell me how it feels. All right, moving on to number 9. Do you know that about 95% of players who play Truckers of Europe 3 love the Scania truck? This one is honestly mind-blowing. Most players prefer the Scania truck more than any other truck in the game. I don't really know the exact reason, but many players just love using Scania trucks. All right, moving on to number 10. Do you know that when you're in the Tremola tunnel, your truck can actually move faster? When driving through the tunnel, the truck sometimes moves faster than it normally would on regular roads. And the funniest part is that you can even turn off your engine while moving inside the tunnel, and the truck can still keep rolling forward. It's honestly crazy. All right, moving on to number 11. Do you know that Truckers of Europe 3 was originally called Truck Simulator Europe 3 during the early beta stage? Yes, guys, in the early development stage, the game was actually called Truck Simulator Europe 3. There was even a teaser image shared back then, and the logo clearly showed Truck Simulator Europe. So yes, the game was originally planned under that name before it finally became Truckers of Europe 3. And lastly, a bonus fact. Do you know that the most difficult route in Truckers of Europe 3 right now is the Lech Road? Around 75% of players complain that this route is extremely difficult because of the sharp turns and narrow roads. Really difficult when you are driving heavy cargo. So let me know in the comments if you think the Lech route is the hardest road in Truckers of Europe 3. All right, guys, that's basically everything for today. I'll be sharing more secret facts very soon. If you enjoyed this type of content, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.